I've been around in support groups for people harmed by medications like this, and I see a common theme that, at least anecdotally, these people report now that they're super sensitive to all kinds of things that they never were before, like medications that they tolerated prior, perfumes, household chemicals, that kind of thing. Is it typical when you are, a victim or of neurotoxicity that you are now sensitive to all kinds of things in your environment too, more so than you were before?
Yes, it is. That to me, that's often a sign of neurotoxicity, is what's been called multiple chemical sensitivity. And there's other names for it, environmental intolerance. There are many names for this condition. And yeah, I'll get to the cause of it in a moment, but I want to preface that with I have books on my shelf on multiple chemical sensitivity that go back decades, and there's been lots and lots of research on it. But for some reason, um, there are many medical doctors that will say there is no such thing. If you have it, it's because you're a hypochondriac, or you're psychosomatic, or it's a somatic symptom disorder. There's no such thing as multiple chemical sensitivity. It's all made up. And I don't know. It's very puzzling how people can come to that conclusion. Um, I know many people with multiple chemical sensitivity, and they have normal personalities. I'm sensitive to chemicals in the environment, not like my patients are or my clients are, where they just can't go into these environments, or like what you just described. I don't have that. I just have very mild sensitivity. And so, yeah, so you can get labeled if you present with those symptoms to a doctor, you can get labeled as being psychosomatic, being a hypochondriac, but they don't use that term anymore. The term changes every couple of years. Now they use the term somatic symptom disorder, but they used to call it somatization. It's because there's no real test for it. There's no blood test. There's no imaging. There's no neuropsychological test that says, oh, you have this condition.
Right.
So yeah, yeah. So I wanted to mention, if you think you have this condition, then I recommend you go to a website. You Google this. It's called Queasy, Queesi, Queasy, Queesi. There's no U in it. And if you Google that, you can get to an instrument that you fill out a form, and it's free, and you can find out whether you have symptoms of multiple chemical sensitivity. And they call it something else on that website, TILT. I forget what the acronym stands for. Toxic intolerance. I don't know what the LT stands for. Mm-hmm. Anyway, but yeah, I use that, and I use that instrument as part of my indicators of neurotoxicity. And what I think it is that the brain just gets sensitive to a toxic insult. It's been injured, it's been damaged, and as you probably know, brain injuries they're difficult to recover from. The white cells or some of the supportive tissue and so forth can regenerate, but the gray cells, I think that's it's at least highly controversial, but most people say they don't regenerate. And what we know when people with brain injuries is the recovery takes a long time, and that often really what we're calling recovery is adaptation to the brain injury through behavioral means and through other means, and saying, well, a person says, well, I have this problem and that problem, and I'm just going to learn how to adapt to it. And to what's very important is to then try and avoid toxic chemicals as much as you can, in the future, and that includes unnecessary drugs.